Hello, hello, you motherfuckers. I am Crunk Labby. Today we're doing some Fate Stay Night Mastered. Gonna try and do the Saber route, if possible at least. I've watched Unlimited Blade Works, and so the tip of the sword was like a flash of lightning. A spearhead thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. It was but a swift, but it was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me. From the strike that threatened to end me, sound was beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. No truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. This beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped about her was like a frozen, it was like the night itself. It's like the frozen night itself. The ringing was not in itself pleasant. It was the sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell. Saber, I ask of you, are you my master? The voice resonated in the darkness. I've come in response to your summons. Henceforth, my blade is with you, and your fate is with me. Our pact is now sealed. Indeed, the pact was sealed, just as she chose to serve me. I'm sure in that moment that I swore to save her. Moonlight cut through the darkness. As if an imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may, I'll always remember the sight of her as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and a silhouette draped in blue swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. This happened 10 years ago. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall and with chiseled features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. But that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head, working it like a stubborn jarlid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. That's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. It's time for me to leave, you know what to do next. I answered yes in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with the perfect joke. I had been practicing punchlines in private in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get the association in your debt before you become an adult, and the decisions after that, I leave it up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was worried about me. Oh, fuck. He told me about our family's heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our grandmaster, and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before, even as I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war, not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life's clock even more keenly than I did. Ran before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path we're destined to walk as mages. End of that. He ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father slash teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came back home. He never came home. Safe travels, father. I bid him farewell as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let that show. I loved him. He was a great father and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I know, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the world than as my instructor. He trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. Ren, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That's the moment I made up my mind. Alright, I guess I'd better do everything I can to become a worthy mage. It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to her master's hopes. That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. That goes without saying, after all. That moment which was burned into my memory 10 years ago will soon be upon me again. Hmm, I hear something. Ring ring. Shut up, stop. That noise doesn't stop. It's such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father. What now? I was up late, just a little longer. Or it should have just let me sleep a bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magic energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind. Good grief, cut me some slack, would you? Ring, 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 ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late? Late. I can't be late. True, but there's a time and place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school on time, at least for today, if only slightly. You're right, I set my alarm 30 minutes early, which means I should be able to sleep another 30. Hmm? Doesn't that sound off? 30 minutes early. Forget the alarm clock, though through sleep heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? Hmm. Glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. I shut off the alarm clock and climb squeakishly out of bed. The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. This is the final 7 a.m. in January. Winter in Fyoki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath mists white. It's that much colder without anyone else living here. Heater, heater! I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would already be heated. I wash my face at the sink. Oh fuck. I wash my face at the sink. I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. With a final tug on the ribbon at my collar, I finished getting dressed. And all that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic. Well, I don't even need to run, then. Of course, I never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. The Tosaka family motto dictates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats, if that's what we've been taught through generations. Yeah, the an the anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tosakas are a line of spell weavers who practice what is known as magecraft. Not just an old family. We are not just an old family. We have an admirably storied history. Not that it's anything to brag about. In fact, I literally can't talk about it. The truth is, I'm a mage. Who could I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your finger and saying abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks, we don't shoot stars out of wands either. We can do things kind of like that, but there's no point, so we don't. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. Not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics and magical mysteries that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. While magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages, who believe in manipulate and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. We believe in manipulate and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there's no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying Magecraft. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, Magecraft has been playing catch up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. So yeah, I'm trying to say everything properly, so I do apologize. Miracles that would only be realized with Magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, Magecraft does have its benefits. Even so, Magecraft does have its benefits. Just as there are some things only science can accomplish, there remain heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grand Master said that. But if you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0. Or something like that. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. I finish my breakfast and pick up my bag. Alright, gotta bring my pendant. I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. I mean, this thing's 100 years old, and it's by far the most powerful jewel we have. One could even say it's on an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years worth of my own magical energy. I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosaka mages specialize at the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun and the jewels that are bullets. Bullets. The other main thing I have inherited from my father is the magical crest engraved into my arm. Magical crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage. It's like all the techniques of the Tosakas condensed into a tattoo. Can't let my guard down even if it hasn't started yet. For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket. It's my trump card. There's nothing I can't do with the powers stored in there. It's 7:30. I'd better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school. Shli bang vaharin re. I weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That said, that still applies even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Actually, I don't mind. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever even come over to say hello. And that's fine with me, but why don't I ever get any stray cats around here? Look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Fyoki is a strange city. One side of the interaction dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, while the other side has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently, a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here. Maybe Japan just didn't suit them. I'd make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia for sure. Oh, something goes off as soon as I step outside. That's weird. It's quieter than I thought. There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily commute. I guess it's just one of those days. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up in bed. Still though. Even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect to see at least a school uniform or two. Yet, from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean, Oto Saka, you're awfully early today. I know it. With a light sigh, I turned might have faced the student who called out to me. Morning sure is cold today. The girl who addresses me so casually is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She is my classmate in 2A, and she has quite a history. Morning, Mitsuzuri, and sorry for the weird question, but do you know what time it is? It's not that weird. It's not even 7 yet. You're still asleep or something? She waves her hand in front of my face as if to ask if anybody's home. I gotta check to see if there's any shit outside my room, so I'll be right back. Okay, no, just smelling things. Okay. Ayako is one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. She probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it. The clocks at home are an hour ahead, all of them apparently. Thought it was just my alarm clock, but the grandfather clock was off too. What's going on here? Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar. So, Osaka? Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Are you on your way to morning practice, Mitsuzuri? Yeah, there's a lot of troublemakers in the Kyoto club, and we're down one of our best shooters. We need to put on a good show if we're going to attract first years in April. I see. Sounds rough. Oh, that's why so-and-so was selected as so-and-so. That makes sense. So, I should add, I have been watching... I've watched Unlimited Blade Works, and I've watched Heaven's Feel. So this route is intended to be the saber route, because I don't want to be bothered watching a subpar anime if I can just use a visual novel. I see, sounds rough. Oh fuck. Way to show you care. Oh, wanna see? Wanna come see? I'm sure the boys would love to know you're watching. The Kill Dog Club? Ah. I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Aiko, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak to the other 2. One of those latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Aiko, the club captain, because I had been watching the club from afar. Okay, as long as it's just watching, I'll come. It's not like I have anything else to do this early in the morning. Nice, then let's get going. One of our school trademarks is its well-equipped archery range. The chair of the school board has a passion for Kyudo, traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest. Come on, let's go. There's still time before practice starts, so I'll get you some tea. Aiko tugs my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, brusky way of her brusque way of speaking. Hey chat, is there a way that word is pronounced? Brusky, brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. There, I'll just gloss over it for the time being. Psycho said there's no one else at the range. We sipped Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's class. The hot drinks are delicious in the quiet winter archery range. Okay, I'll get right. Okay, I'll get right down to it. What's up with you today, Tosaka? Did you finally reel in someone good? And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous. Whoa, you're just getting straight to it today, huh? Should I take that tone to mean you beat me to the punch? No comments. If you're not showing your cards, then neither am I. So how about it? If you're being so tired, is that anything to go by? If you being tired is so... If you being so tired is anything to go by, I bet I'm right in the mark. No comment either, but I guess even if I tried to hide it, you'd see right through me sadly. Not yet. What about you? Can you really afford to take your time on that romantic front? You're not wrong. Things aren't looking too good. Sure, I could grab someone just for appearances, but quality matters, you know? I shouldn't compromise with my future. I shouldn't compromise when my future's on the line. Why am I struggling so hard to talk? Uh-huh. Are you not worried you'll make the wrong choice and lose to me? My meds just fell. Obviously, the most important thing here is that you lose to me. What I actually gain in the process is secondary, really. She chuckles confidently. Ah, we're two peas in a pod. Yeah, I told you when we met this is what it'd be like between us. She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed, I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us. I'm genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translation. Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows. That's what Ayako was getting at. I agree with her. In the 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis. Nemesis. How did we get in this again? What? You startled it, Tosaka. You complained that you'd never have a boyfriend, so we decided to make it a contest to see who catches one first, remember? Ah, right. That was the deal. He said that whoever loses has to do whatever the winner says for the day, right? Yep, I don't think even kids make deals like this anymore, but we're both sore losers. No matter what happens, the loser has to honor the deal. Gotta say, I'm looking forward to winning. Ayako Snickers and the light. My goodness. Ayako Missouri is to put it mildly, a handful. I admit I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both. I see, but Mitsuzuri, you can look forward to the future. Don't lose sight of the goal. There's more to our contest than being first to the finish. I know. It's not a real victory unless it's a relationship that makes you green with envy. That's the biggest challenge for us both. Though it doesn't matter how great of a guy he is, if we can't bring ourselves to love him. Ayako's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she is known as a bit of a misandrist. Oh, okay. Can't can't put too much stock in gossip though. That she made this bet all at Can't put too much stock in gossip though. That she made this bet at all means less that she just doesn't like boys, and more that she hasn't found the right person. Means less that she just doesn't like boys, more that she hasn't found the right person. Okay. So she doesn't want to doesn't want to look like she doesn't like men. She believes she hasn't found the right person. That's I'm just trying to verbalize it to actually interpret that properly. That aside, wait, when did this become we? I'll have you know that I'm not an ice queen like you. I'd have no problem liking a boy. Yeah, no, buying it. Maybe you haven't realized, maybe you just haven't realized it, but I can't imagine you getting soft on a boy. You're always getting asked out, and we've never once said yes, and you've never once said yes. You'd think that if you were actually interested, you'd at least date a few, and say your record speaks for itself. You don't care about boys. You have no imagination at all, do you? What if I already have feelings for someone? Wow, talk about tall tales, but sure, I can appreciate a good romance. Ayako's tone isn't mocking, she nods solemnly. Her sigh tells me it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. We really can't hide anything from her. So can I? She's right. I know very well how cold I am. I can say that I'm a novice when it comes to romance. That you are. The two peas in a pod, right? Damn, it's already 7. We'd better cut this secret meeting short. Who knows when someone might walk in on us. Time to start acting like students. Oh, look at you. What a social butterfly. It was worth waking up early just to see it. Not as much as the great Ren Tosaka. I'm the David, you're Goliath. Your ability to fake being a goody two-shoes at school is practically an alternate personality. Ako sniffs exaggeratedly. I emptied the rest of the teacup she poured me and brew a new pot. So why not join a club? Don't feed me usual bull about being unathletic. Still haven't forgotten how you beat me in every fitness test last year. You had me beat in lung capacity though, and weight. Yeah, I gained 3 kilos. Wait, that's nothing to celebrate, damn it. You tricked me. That guy slaps the table. Oh, you might spill the tea. The club captain be taking better care of this place. Shout it. I'm your rival first, and club captain somewhere after that. If there's no one else around you can beat, bet I'm ready to take the fight to you. Aiko side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must take the martial path. She's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in martial arts. Judo was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. She's probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd least want to mess with. Should you really be saying that you stop being captain if none of your club members are around? Why not? I'm only captain for show. I can just have the more unruly members take care of it, any grunt work. Plus, there's better shooters than me anyways. I don't have any captain's honor to defend. Is that so? I recall Miss Fujimura saying that you're the best they had. Coming from her, that's a bit of an ego boost, but still, she's only saying that because the guy who left, of the guy who left. You're right though, if Message thinks that much of me, I'd better act like a real captain. That's the spirit. Speaking of the devil, here come your club mates now. Time for me to go. Make sure you do your part. You're not going to watch? I see. I wouldn't understand it even if I did. It's one thing to watch from afar, but the uninitiated shouldn't loiter in the dojo. Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range. Good morning, Captain. Morning, Mato. Are you by yourself today? Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't convince him to come. It's fine. If he doesn't want to, there's no point in forcing him. Oko speaks to the first club member. It speaks to the first club member to arrive. I'll be going then. See you later, Mitsuzuri. Yeah, later, Tosaka. Have a good day, Tosaka. Thanks. Hang in there, Sakura. I leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way. Morning, Tosaka. Funny running into you so early. Oh no, and here comes the person I least wanted to see. Good morning, Mato. You're here early. Of course I am. I'm the captain. So I need to set a good example for the first years. Shinji Mato from class 2C grins at me. He's the vice captain of the Kido Club and darling of half the girls at school. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but also he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob, or something like that. What a... What a good reason to watch Heavens Feel. What a good reason to watch Heavens Feel and Blade Works. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say. I say I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm pretty sure you're forgetting an important part of that motto. Try to remember next time. What's that? Vice. I don't care whether you're captain or vice captain, but if you make a point of leaving it out, people might think it bothers you, vice captain. You're right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Tosaka. Not sure I did anything you should thank me for. I'm not sure I did anything you should thank me for, but hey, I'm not going to stop you. With that, I turn to lead the range. Oh, hang on. You're here to watch, are you? You're more than welcome to stay. Plus, I don't want to disrupt your practice. I don't mind at all. If anyone says otherwise, I'll kick them out. So why don't you stick around? I already said I don't want to intrude. It's not as if I'm particularly interested in Kyudo. Not really excited to watch a bunch of people I don't know shooting arrows. What's with that, Tosaka? You don't care about Kyudo? Hmm. I must be confused after seeing you watching us after school so many times. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things. So you knew Mato? Yeah, our eyes met often, and you and I saw you watching me. Wanted to call out to you, but you know how it is. I can't raise my voice on the range. Oh, fuck. Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eye, competing with that affable smile. I had it wrong all along. I thought you liked watching us shoot, but you aren't interested. Why were you watching then, Tosaka? Ah, now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it? Ah, you don't mind taking a step back, Mato? I like my personal space. What was that, Tosaka? You're still not getting it. This is my usual style, but I guess that's what it'll take. Here, I'll make this as really simple so you can even you can understand. This isn't my usual style, but I guess it's what it'll take. Here, I'll make this as just real simple so even you can understand. I am even less interested in you than I am in Kyudo. I don't know you. I didn't know you were. I didn't even know you were in the club, and I doubt I'll remember next time either. Okay, so I can read all this in my head, it's just saying it out loud is a bit difficult. So, I could be fast if I just fucking and did it as I read it. Like, what did you just say? I must have touched a nerve because he tries to grab me roughly. I will twist out of his reach and turn to leave. My motto, sometimes high little self-consciousness can do you good. Josaki little. Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. The guy is all style and no substance. If he had even a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly as much. I take the rear entrance into the campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't any students in the hallways. Hey, it's Tosaka. Tosaka. Good morning, Miss Fujimura. Yep, good morning to you. I just love how you're so polite to the teachers like me. Alright, I can just scroll and I can... The strange woman pretends to sob in the light. I do this, but it's being consistent. Pretends to sob in the light. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here. Is there another way to say good morning? Yeah, sure is. The first years all greet me properly, but once upperclassmen, they stop using my surname. Don't follow their example, alright? I'm not quite sure I understand, but I wouldn't be rude to you. Good girl. Oh wow. How I wish they could be more like you, Tosaka. A parting wave and a see ya. Sujimura leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Sujimura teaches English. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing, kendo, and her student days. They called her the Fuki Tiger. That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor into the Kido Club instead of the Kendo Club. Kyudo Kendo just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities in the school grounds, on the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors except Tosaka. He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me. Well, if it isn't the student council president, it's a little early for patrolling campus, isn't it? Or are you maybe fixing up the club rooms? You're diligent as always, not that I care. And just what are you doing? Not even in a club, so why are you here so early? I just felt like it. I'm not an early riser like you or family, Ryu there. Little eyes. Ooh, ooh. The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull pass is what started it. One question for you. Have you been staying late in campus lately, Tosaka? Nope, I'm in the Go Home Club, you know that. Naturally, as the appointed student council president, I'm well acquainted with all of our student affairs. That's nice. I'm not sure why you bothered asking me then. I hope you're not trying to pawn your students' council work off on outsiders. Spy on your fellow students yourself, then ask me. It's got nothing to do with me. In what way are you an outsider? I don't think I've noticed the way you use your wiles to get your hooks into our treasurer, you vixen. Into our treasurer, you vixen. Well, that wasn't helpful, Mr. Zori. So asked me to publicize the club budget allocation. Don't the students have a right to know their funds are being spent? That's all it was to you, was it? The psychological damage inflicted on the treasurer made her take an entire week off. I shouldn't be surprised to see just how twisted your ethics are. Look who's talking. You ought to keep your staff on a tighter leash. Playing favourites with the cultural clubs doesn't seem fair to me. I know that. That's why I was going to audit them myself. It's fixed. Essay. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence known. Sorry, Emiya. You're doing all the work while I'm out of here, and I just asked for your help with the repairs. Forgive me. Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time. The AV room, then. The equipment's been acting up for a while, and it finally gave up the ghost. If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. It'd be easy to buy a new one. You're right, but I'd still appreciate it if you'd take a look. It looks like it's on its deathbed to me, but you might be able to nurse it back to health. Okay, I'll try. Beckoned by the other student, the president leaves. I'd stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy went and screwdriver in hand turns as if he's remembered something. You're early today, Tosaka. He awkwardly mutters and leaves. Was that supposed to be a greeting? Resident and student called the student called Emiya walk off into the distance. That would be Shiro Emiya from class 2C. That's all it was. How do I put it? That the wench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. It's 7:30 a.m. There's nobody else in the classroom. In classroom 2A, I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins after the fourth period. School is a cafeteria, so only about half of the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning, so... Tosaka, would you like to have lunch with me? We girls would tend to enjoy our lunches as a group. I'm sorry I can't say gusa, but thanks for asking. I'll be eating at the cafeteria today. I've slept this morning, so I didn't have time to make lunch. Of course. Sorry for ambushing you with that. Say Gusa looks guilty at her feet. I'm gonna find an well-behaved student of Class A. She's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice to me. There's nothing to apologize for. I just didn't have time to make a lunch today. Please ask me again tomorrow. I let her down as gently as I can and offer her a genuine smile. Okay, so even you sleep in too, huh? Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Seigusa turns back to her table, looking relieved. She is adorable. Yukika Seigusa isn't drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease. Does happen. I don't let it show, but I'm really not a morning person. I can't get up early enough to be in any clubs. Seigusa somehow maintains an elegant air even when it's startled. Watching a reaction is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have time to just stand here and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone, so disarming, the real me is bound to show herself. I'm off to the cafeteria then. Enjoy your lunch. You too, Tosaka? Segusa and I exchange some graceful greetings, and she returns to her friends. See that she's eating with Kaide, Makidera, and Kane Himura. Alright, wasn't Segusa the track and field club manager? Makidera and Himura fuck. Makidera and Himura and Himuro are the track and field club's rising stars. Makidera's a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off, but I don't know Himuro too well. Looks like you got dumped. Say she told you that Sosaki didn't bring lunch. If you want to hook her, you gotta bring enough food for both of you. I can't really read when I'm yawning. Maki, can't we just go to the cafeteria with her too then? No, it's too cramped in there. Two to share space with us, brown baggers. Plus, it's really annoying how the boys stare at when you sit next to Tosaka. Brown baggers. What the fuck does that mean? Last time we hung out, she hogged all the attention. She's an overachiever and all swanky too. I can't take it. Makidera takes hold of Seigusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty. Makino G Lady Tosaka can hear everything you're saying. She can hear everything you're saying. Meanwhile, Himura's cool and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Makidera. Oh crap, did she hear me? Ah, I bet she's totally glaring at me. Fuck. Oh, I don't think she's glaring at you. She's totally shooting lasers at. It's the scariest when she's smiling at you. Oh, come on. Just let it slide. Her powers, remember? Treated you to take to Taiyaki that one time. Kaede Mendera puffs her cheeks out in a pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Do you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? The world works in strange ways. At any rate, it's rude to say Gusa to stare at the three of them. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Makidera. So Gusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself. Just looking at something. It's alright, say Gusa. Makidera, I was the only one who treated you to crepes, not taiyaki. You really ought to fix how often you work in hyperbole. That smile scares the daylights out of me. Makidera holds up her lunchbox lid like some kind of shield. I bid the odd trio farewell, leave the classroom. We're almost an hour in. And slide the door closed. Oops. Well, give me a break, taiyaki crepes. What's the difference? They're both sweet things wrapped in carbs. Akidera utters something blasphemous for a girl. She thinks takoyaki and crepes are the same thing. She even human? Are all desserts the same to her? I'm gonna search up taiyaki. Huh? Yeah, no, crepes are very different. Those are fucking. That's fucking night and day. Holy shit. That bitch is a psycho. Fucking hell. Is she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish fleur, this is 50 yen, very, very berry, from an 80 yen takoyaki at Edo Maya. Damn you, Kaede Makidera. Could have saved 420. Saving that. Could have saved 420 yen. Now what am I getting? Am I... What am I actually getting... Am I getting actually upset for? Must still be tired from last night. Cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. Some bread? Is bread, like, very fancy in this place? Purchase my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. Though it's different in the summertime, during the winter, the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. It's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy. Time to eat. Indulging the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. Okay, so by bread she means a sandwich. Okay. Oh, a tomato sandwich. Okay. I mean, I can't judge. It's a simple lunch made all the more delicious by the fact I can enjoy it up here in peace. I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. As I'll get a message. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no conviction. That I'm be a sub student of the school. It's no conviction that I be the top student of the school. I decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be the very best. I don't want people looking down on the Tosaka name. That's how Rin Tosaku came to be a perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. Oh, fuck. I'd rather not resort to that until I keep my social interactions purely superficial out of necessity. I only hang out with Makidera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people, like, say, Gulsa. Hmm. It's difficult walking the tightrope of being the number one student at a school while making sure I don't become anybody else's number one. And sure, there are times when it tires me out, and I feel like life is a real drag. Oh, it's already time. Finished hot lemons. The hot lemon drink. Huh. Is it like a lemon milkshake or something? Like lime milkshakes are pretty good, so maybe lemon. Hot lemon. What the fuck? I can't think too much of it. Just hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. It's time to go back downstairs and become Ren Tosaku again. Room is over. Make sure you log your day shifts and lock the doors and windows. If you don't have any club activities, try to get home quickly. Class 2A's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he's said the exact same thing. He's said it exactly the same way all year. Osaka, are you going home already? Yeah, I had a run-in with Mato this morning, so I want to leave before it gets out of hand. I figure he sure had a temper this morning. You must have put him through the ringer. Did he? Now, sorry for the trouble. It wasn't really Mato's always hard on the younger students. Helps them build character. Glad to hear it. I'll make it up to you later. Sure, sure. I hope it doesn't put you off. Stop by again sometime. I make my way home without taking any detours. My time as Rin Psycho, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. Next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka. Ooh, shall she do her things? When I arrive back home at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine. Voicemail, that's rare, figures it's Kirei. I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I'd better listen or I won't hear the end of it later. Press the play button and hear a familiar voice. Male voice. It's me, as I'm sure you're aware. Tomorrow is the time limit. And we will have a problem if you procrastinate. We will have a problem if you procrastinate any further. There are only 2 spots left. I must ensure all the masters are in order soon. Beast cut straight to the point. If you plan to forfeit your rights as master, let me know. Today it will take time to dispatch a substitute mage. Liar, I bet you could find a backup right away. You have already shown signs of a command spell. Promptly summon your servant and bind them to it. Of course, it's different discussion if you choose not to take part in the Holy Grail War. If you fear for your life, then come to the church for due haste. The voicemail ends. It was a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready by today. If you aren't, then retire because you're in the way. I don't need to tell. You don't need to tell me that. It's only to be expected, I guess. Today is the last day. I can drag this out. Thankfully, I managed to decipher my father's notes yesterday. My battle preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said. The Early Grey War, a fight to the death over a single chalice, a ritual that's gone on for centuries. The mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called masters. It doesn't denote a rank of any kind, it merely describes their role. There's a simple condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar, called a servant, and form a contract with them. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master until you command a servant. There's a clear difference between servants and normal familiars. The way you summon and use them are different. The mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare summoning catalysts, but I wish Father had left me something with a connection to a saber. I don't own any relics with a connection to a saber. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the toe sucker. Holy fuck, I didn't realize that. So, in my previous streams, we, of playing Fate Samurai Remnant, ley lines are very important for, stuff like servants who aren't affiliated with anyone can draw power from them. So, fuck. So her family has control. Like, fuck. I was aware that ley lines were a thing back in the original Fate, which is basically this. But I didn't realize some Rin had control of the ley lines. I'm the heir to a clan that's administered the land for generations, so my performance will not take a backseat to some visiting mages. Although while that is true, it would be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass. Servants are drawn to symbols. To summon a powerful servant, one needs a symbol with a connection to that servant. In other words, I need some outrageously valuable item like a sword or piece of armor or a piece of armor that servant owned, or maybe a bone of heraldry related to them. If I had such big hopes that for Father's will, no, he did not leave me a serious trump card. The pendant discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. It's amazing all in its own. Still, I won't help me summon a servant. I'm fine, I don't need to rely on something like that to figure this out. To begin with, I doubt there's any master more qualified to handle Saber than I am. Alright, I've made up my mind. I'd rather not get near full and waiting until the last minute doesn't sit right with me. Now then, the real challenge begins. Tonight I'm going to summon a servant while I'm in peak condition and acquire Saber by force. Ooh, I'm excited. It's gonna be animation. Ooh. Late night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. It's a period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. In terms of limits, this will be my first time and last chance, so I can't afford even the slightest mistake. Withdrawal within elimination, engrave 4 circles of the withdrawal and surround them with a summoning circle there. Inscribe magic circles into the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major evocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters anchor them to the world and supply the magical energy to them to materialize them, but the servants are the ones who choose to respond to summons. For the elements silver and iron, for the foundation stone and the Archduke of Pact, for the ancestors, my great master Schweinog. Raise a wall for the wind that shall fall close. The gates of the four directions come forth from the crown and follow the forked roads leading to their kingdom. Still need to keep cautious and focus. Magic circles are normally drawn with blood, but tonight I drawn mine with melted jewels. I'm using up half of the jewels I've accumulated over my lifetime, so I'll never financially recover from this if it fails. Feel close, feel close, feel close, feel close, feel close. Fill. Beats 5 times. Fill. But when each is filled, destroy it. It's almost 2 AM. Finish drawing the summoning circle. Bust down through the toe circle line. Base it with my being. For my being. On thing set. On thing. I flick a formless switch within myself. With a click, I can feel my insides turn over something else. Normal nerves invert and become circuits for conducting magical energy. Princess Suck is no longer human. She is just a component, the execution of mystics. Melt from my fingers. No, I'm filled up from my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense it overwrites my bodily sensations. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Running through my body is the power, mana, from the atmosphere. Convert it into a different type of energy through my body's circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome we produce is what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. Seems like horns are growing from my forehead. Seems like wings are sprouting from my back. Seems like scales are covering my hands. It's like there's water pooling around my ankles. Sweat drips. Stab, sword, pierce my body. The stigmata that reject my body, which becomes a circuit. No matter how gifted a mage is, we're only human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we use magecraft. The cycle doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trance, lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my arm. My left arm to aid the caster, my magical crest autonomously begins an incantation invading my nervous system. The mana in the atmosphere I've taken in turns to blood. It's like molten lead. With my activated magic crest, resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps throughout my body like a thorny centipede. Within the hurt, I forgot myself. Same time, I can feel it taking hold of me, like I've reached where I need to go. My hypersensitive hearing picks up the ticking clock in the parlor. 10 seconds left until 2 AM. The power filling my body is unquestionably complete. Heed my words, time to begin. I convert the mana afflicted into magical energy for the fixation. What it's left is to feed all that energy into the engine, the summoning circle, until my body runs dry. Heed my words. My will creates your body. Your sword creates my destiny. If you heed the Grail's call, and obey my will, the reason then answer me. Holy shit. My vision goes dark. What lies before me now is the fifth factor, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. The vision shuts off on its own, fearing what it might see. I hereby swear I shall be all the good in the world. I shall defeat all evil in the world. Seven heavens clad in three great words of power. Come forth from the circle of binding guardian of the scales. That went off without a hitch. Feels so perfect, it's like I'm reeling in a whale while I'm with a fishing rod. Flawless, I'm positive I just drew the strongest card. Can't wait for my vision to return. Take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest seven will. But nowhere in sight. Huh? There's nothing. Nothing's here. There. The room doesn't look different at all. It's not that much either into the ritual, only perhaps nothing to materialize. So on top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor. Why? I vault. My head's empty at this point. I just run. Race up the stairs from the basement. The door's broken. Door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the doorknob. This is the won't open whether I push or pull. Damn it, maybe stupid thing. I kick it down and burst into the room. And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear. Everything is in tatters. Rubble is strewn across everything as if something has fallen through the ceiling. On top of it all sits is a man cocking his head arrogantly. He must be some kind of criminal, but something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having escaped destruction, tells the time precisely. Now remember, right, of course, the clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they? Which means it's 1 a.m. Still a full hour left until I'm in peak spellcasting form. Screwed up again. I can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but suffer from the curse of my genetics. When it really counts, I have somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level. What's done is done. I'm just gonna learn from this. Can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lounging haughtily on the rubble. So what are you? That's the first thing out of your mouth. Seems to have been dealt a truly ridiculous master. The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. And is this a servant? I'd thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. Not just a man. Even from here I can tell that he's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. And be fooled by its appearance. I'm staring at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost that's on the level of an elemental. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. Need to get my head into the game. Just checking, but you are my servant, right? That's what I wanted to ask. Are you even my master? Never been summoned so violently before, and honestly, I'm still struggling to get my bearings. It's my first time too. I'm not answering questions like that. I see, but you weren't here when I was summoned. Care to explain why? Are you serious? You're not, baby bird. Don't joke that you can't decide who to serve if they aren't there when you open your eyes. The unidentified servant frowns and the grunt escapes his lips. Maybe didn't like the way I said it, though he has a mixed reaction, as if still impressed by the logic of my words. Whatever, what I'm asking is if you're my servant, no one else's. I don't have to answer any of your questions until we make that clear. This is what I get after a failed summoning her? I believe there's something else you should be saying. There isn't. There isn't. In a master familiar relationship, this is the first detail we need to hash out. Servant's eyebrows twitches. He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. Wonder if it's because of the half-baked summering. You want to clarify who serves whom? At least you know how to run your mouth, even if you've failed at everything else. Sure, I agree with that opinion. You want to make clear who's strong and who's weak, or else it'll make this dynamic difficult. Or else it'll make this dynamic difficult. The seven eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing in the rubble of my living room. Who's weak? Yeah, I'm a servant, and I'll acknowledge that I serve my summoner, but that's only how it is on paper, wouldn't you say? We still need to establish who's superior and whether you're worthy to fight alongside. At that point, are you a mage worthy of my service, little girl? Servant smirks. First, he destroys my house and acts like he's king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask whether I'm worthy. Didn't ask your opinion, only asked if you're my servant or not. Treat myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not going to back down from this condescending jerk. Oh, I see. You ain't even dying to answer such an obvious question. At least you've got spirit. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Like I said, you're getting ahead of yourself. It's the summoner's duty to confirm this first. Now answer me, are you my servant or not? Step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer. Such a stubborn girl. We'll get nowhere at this rate. Very well, for discussion's sake, let's assume that I am your servant. In that case, I am my master, hypothetically speaking, of course. Obviously, you're the servant. I summoned, so who else would it be? Go at this rude man, giving me seething heed, giving my seething head a moment to cool down. Oh well, I suppose I would be hypothetically. Then where's the proof that you're my master? Servant blithely asks, smirking all the while. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions to losing my temper. Right, here, that proves that I'm your master. Hmm? I show him the command spells on my right hand. Don't think I was born yesterday. Fathers told me enough that I know what command spells are at least. Good enough for you yet? Any other complaints? I thrust the symbols at him, didn't challenge. But the lounging servant rolls his eyes. Are you serious right now, girl? His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled. Well, what do you mean? Talking about the way you think command spells automatically make you my master. They're merely tools to compel a servant. I can't believe you think flaunting some symbols is enough to play master. What I want to see is whether you deserve my loyal service. That makes sense, but normally you'd think of command spells if someone asked for prior proof you're a master, right? What, you think I'm qualified to be a master? Wish that you were the case, but unfortunately your command spells show that you summoned me. As hard as it is to believe, you appear to be my master. Shrugs in mock-asked exhaustion. I've reached my boiling point and I'm not going to cool down in time. Hardly satisfied, but I'll concede the point. For now, you're my master, but I have conditions. I'm not going to do what you say. I'll decide the direction of the battle. You'll act as I see fit. This is the greatest concession I can give you. I'm sure you don't mind, girl. Sorry, father. I'm at my limit. Okay, you're saying you'll recognize me even if you don't like it, but you'll ignore my opinions. Aren't you supposed to be my servant? I asked in a trembling voice. After I spat over the command spells, this is my last desperate attempt at dialogue. And yet, yes, technically, therefore, I will obey you in fury, but I'm the one who'll be fighting. You can just hide underground in your house and behave until the Holy Grail War is over. That way, even if a novice like you will survive. He's looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me. Did I make you angry? Of course, I respect your position. I was just summoned to bring my master victory after all. The victories will belong to you, as well any spoils of war. hardly have anything to complain about. No, you can't even use these command spells. Just leave the rest to me and worry about your own skin. I've had it with you. Fine, if that's how it's going to be, then I'll use them. Anfang, set. No more mercy. I've got nothing else for jackass like this. Don't tell me exactly what you're thinking, you dirtbag. But take ein nage ein nos Gesetz. Concept the Lord's program. Ein neues Verbrechen on my servant and absolute obedience. Wait, have you lost your mind, master? It's a weird waste a command spell on something like that. Something like this. Shut up. My servant, got it? That means you absolutely have to do what I say. The emblem in my right hand aches for command spells. They allow a master to issue the free unbreakable commands to their servants. Did you even think this through? If you use this command spell in such a vague order, it's too late to whine now. Didn't expect this to happen either. And to die of self-loathing. Believe I just burned one of my precious command spells on a petty squabble. I don't see myself streaming this. Okay. I since this is basically just a novel, I probably shouldn't. I can't be bothered streaming this so much. So oh, I got a caster card. She ain't the worst person. She also has a moth theme, but yeah, I'm probably gonna continue to read this off stream since I am very slow. Have a lovely day.